Alright, now it's time for a Mario Kart discussion, because I could not just fit this in its own little section of my previous video talking about the Switch and the trailer and the Switch 2 reveal and all that. This had to be its own thing. And I know some people might be wondering, what do you mean? How could this be its own thing? There was only like 20 seconds of footage shown of the new Mario Kart in this trailer. Well, let me give you a little bit of background and context as to why that 20 seconds means so much to someone like me and to a lot of people like me all around the world. Starting off with May 29th, 2014, that was the last time we got a brand new Mario Kart game. Mario Kart 8, released on the Wii U, May 29th, 2014. By the time we get the Switch 2 in our hands, it will have been over 11 years. 11! Since we got our last brand new Mario Kart game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is just a port of Mario Kart 8 with a bunch of added content, especially with the DLC down the line. That game came out in April of 2017, 3 years later, for the Nintendo Switch, and sold so freaking well that they literally couldn't help themselves. They had to keep selling it. I'm sure they had planned a new Mario Kart for that Switch, but nope. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just kept selling and is the best-selling game by far to date on the Switch, so they just kept going with it. So now, absolutely insane, 11 years later, we finally get our first look at the brand new Mario Kart game for the Nintendo Switch 2. And it was rumored, of course, the Mario Kart game or the new 3D Mario game. Which one would be the launch title and which one will be the holiday game? I had personally predicted that it would be a new 3D Mario. Now, a lot of people are pretty much saying, including myself, I did in the reveal trailer, and I kind of teased it a little bit in my discussions video, but a lot of people are saying this basically confirms the idea of Mario Kart 9 or 10, funny enough. We're not sure which one it's going to be called, for this Mario Kart to be the launch title, and that makes perfect sense. Both a new 3D Mario and a Mario Kart make perfect sense for the launch title, but they obviously won't be together. One of them will be the holiday game, and the other will be the launch title. Now, Mario Kart is not confirmed to be the launch title, and just because this game is in this trailer, that doesn't mean that it is confirmed to be the launch title for the Switch. A lot of people have been saying that, but remember, back to the initial Switch 1 reveal trailer, we had Splatoon 2, we had Mario Odyssey, and I believe we also had Skyrim. And all those games did not end up being a launch title for the Switch. Those were just games shown off in its reveal trailer that just didn't end up being there on launch. Splatoon 2 launched in July, and the Switch itself launched in March, so that's a few months after that. Mario Odyssey came out in October, and I believe Skyrim came out in November. So no, that was not launch title for the Switch 1. None of those games were. So Mario Kart 9 or 10, whatever this game is called, will probably be the launch title. I am probably going with that, but this doesn't confirm that that is the case, because we know from the past, like I said, just because a game is shown in the reveal trailer of the console does not mean it will be the launch game. So now, why am I calling it Mario Kart 9 or 10? Well, personally, I think they should call it Mario Kart 9, because on the home console of Nintendo systems, there have been 9 Mario Karts up to this point, including this game. But the little kerfuffle, the little wrinkle in this otherwise smooth and ironed white t-shirt is Mario Kart Tour on mobile apps, on mobile devices, all that stuff. Mario Kart Tour, they kind of considered that its own game by putting a lot of those tracks into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the Booster Pass DLC. They put a ton of Mario Kart Tour tracks in that game, and they labeled it Mario Kart Tour. So I kind of wonder if a lot of people have also speculated that because they have officially acknowledged it in a mainline Mario Kart game such as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we wonder if that is now considered a mainline Mario Kart game itself. We wonder if that Mario Kart Tour was Mario Kart 9. So a lot of people have been calling this Mario Kart X for 10, the Roman numeral for 10. So I don't know. It could be Mario Kart 9. It could be Mario Kart 10. I personally am just going with Mario Kart 9 because I think that sounds better than 10 at this point. X would probably look cooler, but 9 makes more sense to me. I could be wrong. They could just hard reboot it and just call it a Mario Kart. That's it, just Mario Kart or Switch Kart or whatever you want to call it. But it is fascinating to me, everything that has literally over a decade of time has passed since we have seen a brand new Mario Kart, and here we are now, breaking it down for the Switch 2. If you've enjoyed today's video thus far, make sure you like and subscribe to today's content, click the notification bell, consider joining my membership program for early access to all of my videos. Clicking all those buttons helps the channel out so much. I appreciate you all. Let's get back to the video. So, that was all of the context that you need before we get into the deep dive of this trailer. There is so much in this trailer that we have to break down and talk about because there is so much new stuff that they showed off. Starting off, I just want to say this slowed down, zoomed in footage is from GameXplain, so thank you, GameXplain, for providing this on YouTube. Go to their channel, check this video out. Andre, I believe, absolutely did all this work to zoom it in and make this video for us, so appreciate him for doing that, making it easier for us to look at all of the new stuff. Starting off with Donkey Kong, that was the first big thing that I saw people talking about, and that I ended up talking about as well on Twitter and enhanced the image and zoomed in a little bit, and you can see that they remodeled Donkey Kong. He now looks like the Mario movie version of himself, which is it's weird and incredible, and I can't quite get used to it yet, and I think that's the same sentiment that a lot of people share, is that it just looks weird. Like, his eyes look like they're just kind of beaten in, and, you know, his Mario movie design was fine. I liked him in the movie. It was great, but it just looks so weird and different in the actual games themselves. So that's the redesign. He looks bigger, fluffier, stronger, but he also has that weird eye thing going on. So obviously they are working on remodeling these characters for the better, and just for overall brand recognition, it makes perfect sense for them to want to do this. The Mario movie is the only video game movie ever that has ever hit $1 billion at the box office. And so when you look at Mario and Donkey Kong and how Donkey Kong was such a big part of that movie, they were essentially rivals and friends, and they helped each other, and there was a big subplot with Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong and all that. So many people took their kids and they took their families to go watch the Mario movie, and so now people who maybe didn't have Switches or a Switch 2 up until this point and didn't really know anything about it, they're expecting Donkey Kong to look like what they saw in the movie. So now the games are kind of adapting to that, and that makes sense overall. Like, it just makes more sense to have kids who saw the Mario movie be like, Mom, I want a Switch 2 for Christmas. They get it, Mario Kart Day 1, and look, there's Donkey Kong from the Mario movie. I get to play as that guy from the Mario movie. Now, if he had kept the old model, that's not the exact same type of thing. You're going to be like, oh, you know, the kids are going to be like, oh, you know, what in the world? This doesn't look like my Donkey Kong. What? I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. And it could lead people to not play it, which, you know, it's a very niche part of their audience that they're trying to go after here, but I understand the brand consistency. It makes perfect sense to me. Now, all of the other characters look slightly different, and may I even say off, and it's just the redesign overall. Mario, we saw him front and center. The clearest picture of him that we have is right here, and he looks phenomenal, to be honest. He looks a lot like his Mario Wonder version, in which they kind of went back to the old Super Mario World from the SNES days, and they kind of made that Mario into a modern day kind of Mario design, and so now they're putting that into Mario Kart 9, and it's incredible, to be honest. Like, it's just a very solid, clean looking model. I think it looks phenomenal, and his face is just rounder. He looks a little bit more lovable, so does Luigi, and I believe Peach does here too, in this little spot right here. They all look a little bit different. Now, to talk about the gameplay a little bit, this is the biggest change in the entire Mario Kart series. At the very beginning of this little track trailer portion here, we can see the starting line has 24 spots. 24! You can play as 24 different characters in a single race. Now, what does that mean for the gameplay overall? Well, one, it means the tracks are going to have to be bigger and longer, probably, because that many karts in one location. I don't believe we have ever had more than 12 karts on the same track at the same time in the entire series. Even in Tour, I don't think we've had any more than 12. For now that to be doubled, not like just, you know, it makes sense if it was like 16, you add 4 more, maybe even 20, but 24, they're going all out. This is the biggest and best Mario Kart ever incoming. Like literally, this track looks huge, and every time they zoom out, I've seen so many people say this kind of looks open world, and I don't even know how that would work. I've not played any of the Forza games, but a lot of people have compared it to those types of games where you just kind of drive around this open environment. I really hope that they stick to the basic formula of 3 laps, and whether that, with the tour mechanics of bringing back changing laps to where you don't go around the exact same course 3 times, you go around like it's the same environment obviously, but it's 3 different types of ways. I don't mind if they do that, but at the end of the day, I really hope that they keep a 3-lap standard. Just keep it simple. I mean, it doesn't need to be super different. There's a reason that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold as well as it did. The game looked phenomenal and played phenomenal, so as long as they don't change too much of how it feels, like I hope they change it obviously to make it a new game, but I don't understand how you can make it any better than 8 Deluxe. So this kind of concerns me a little bit because this shows they're going off the deep end, whether we like it or not. This is the new Mario Kart experience, and I think the vast majority of people are going to like that. The people who didn't really get into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and didn't play it as religiously as I do, and still do to this day, they don't really care because they're not going to notice that much of a difference. And then obviously the families that are going to play this game together, they're just going to have wacky fun, and it doesn't matter if it's new or not. They don't have the muscle memory control of all the Mario Kart 8 games and all that such. So moving forward, I'm glad to see a new iteration of the game. This shows so much of what this game is going to play like, what it's going to look like, and honestly, this probably means there's going to be about 40 to 50 characters at least. Because if you have 24 characters that you're gonna have on this track at the same exact time, you're gonna have to have at least 40 to 50 characters to fill up those slots, so it's not the exact same characters you're racing against at the same time. And speaking of some of those characters that we are going to be playing as, I think I have been able to spot every single character in this trailer. And if I have counted right from what I've seen, and also from a lot of people corroborating sources together, looking through this on Twitter, I think there are about 22 characters that we can see in this trailer. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Birdo perhaps, Yoshi, Toad, Koopa Troopa, Toadette, King Boo, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Daisy, Baby Peach, Baby Rosalina, Wario, Waluigi, the new spruced up Donkey Kong, Bowser, Bowser Jr., some have said Poochie, I think this is Bowser Jr. here, and Pauline. Oh, and I think I just spotted a 23rd one. I think we see Shy Guy right here in this little spot right here, thanks to this guy on Twitter who posted this. I think it's definitely Shy Guy. So that is 23 characters on the exact same track, on the exact same time. And man, oh man, is that so much different than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because in that game, even after the amount of insane DLC that we got, that game still only had 42 playable characters, and that just is kind of different because of all the different Mario and Luigi character variations, and the Gold Mario, Silver Mario, all that crap. I don't even know if this counts that, but as we can see, all of those characters were in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I assume there are going to be at least some new ones for this as well. Hopefully they bring back some of the other Nintendo characters like Link, Inkling, Animal Crossing, all that stuff. It would be really cool to see like a Kirby in this game or Samus. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see, but the character count expected to be very high in this game. Now at the very beginning of this track we see it's called Mario Kart Circuit, so I'm assuming this is one of the very first cups that you're going to play, the very first track in the very first cup. And this is very different than every other beginning Mario Kart game with the very first track, because Mario Kart Stadium was at night and that was kind of like a unique thing, but in all the other games it's kind of like green, grassy plains, and this is like deserty. It's like truck stop activity, like we're in the middle of a desert and we're driving through and there's this Yoshi diner and like a burger place. Like this is such a unique twist on the idea of a Mario circuit. So we look at this here on this trailer and it's like, wow, Mario Kart really is changing for the better, I think, because it's so much more funky. And speaking of funky, there is one more thing that I have plucked from this trailer that I want to tell you guys about, and that is this part right here, right at the very end, the little diner part. Underneath that, it looks like you can drive around and hit that little item, and that does not, unless they're repurposing it, redesigning it, which, you know, we can't rule that out since of all these brand new character designs. They could be redesigning the item box look, but I would place my bets on this being a Wonder Flower from Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That would be insane. You click, like you drive over and you hit the freaking Wonder Flower, and maybe it changes the entire course or the hazards of the course. Like in Mario Wonder, every time you would hit a Wonder Flower, everything would go crazy in the game. So here, I could see the track changing. You're going underground or above ground, or there are a bunch of bowls that rush out of nowhere, and if you hit one, you die, and like you have to start over. But it is interesting that you have to go so out of your way on this track, and it's so interesting how wide this track is, and here at this end shot, we can't see where it goes. Like we can't, like normally with every other track, you would at least be able to kind of see the rest of the track and how it would connect. But as you can see here, why people have been speculating why this might be some kind of different Mario Kart game altogether in terms of potentially being an open world, is because we can't even see the end, and it looks like you're gonna keep driving all the way towards those mountains in the back that look like Radiator Springs from Cars. So I have absolutely no idea what this Mario Kart is going to be, but expect it to be completely different from every other game in the series. Outside of the tracks just being 10 times longer than we would normally expect it to be, especially considering the roster is literally doubling in size and how many players can play at the exact same time. I don't know if it's going to be possible to have 24 players connect at the same time to do this, but it seems like with the Nintendo playtest that they had last year, with all that crazy stuff going around, and with the new recent Mario Party Jamboree, having all those players play at the exact same time, it seems possible. They're trying to expand their horizons. I think COVID might have shown them how important online play can be, and just how online is important in general for a console's lifespan and for its health overall. So it looks like Nintendo is going to be expanding the franchise for the better. And I cannot wait to see more about this game, more about the Switch 2, and to cover it all. So make sure you like and subscribe this video if you enjoyed today's content. I appreciate you all so much. There were 3 videos today. That is absolutely insane for me and my channel. That's the most I've ever put out in a single day, so I hope you all enjoyed the content. If you missed my videos from earlier today, click on the left to check out my initial reactions, first reactions to the Switch 2 trailer, and on the right to see my breakdown of the entire trailer, everything that it means, and everything that you might have missed from the trailer and the reveal. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Ray's Nintendo Talk. I have been Ray, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Have a great day.